Ladies and gentlemen, the way you talk to yourself is more powerful than you realize. Your words are not just sounds or thoughts floating in your mind. They're instructions, they're commands that your subconscious follows. Every time you say something about yourself, whether out loud or in your head, you are reinforcing a belief, and those beliefs shape your reality. Think about this. When you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, your mind doesn't argue. It doesn't push back and say, no, actually you are. Instead, it accepts that statement as truth and starts looking for proof to support it. You begin noticing your mistakes more. You start doubting yourself in situations where you used to be confident. You hesitate when you should take action. Over time, that one simple thought becomes a deeply rooted belief. And that belief controls your actions, your choices, and ultimately your life. But the opposite is also true. If you wake up every morning and tell yourself, I am strong, I am capable, I can handle whatever comes my way, your mind accepts that as truth too. It starts searching for ways to make that statement a reality. You begin walking with more confidence, speaking with more authority, and handling challenges with a different mindset. It's not because life suddenly got easier, it's because you changed how you see yourself. Words create energy. They shape your emotions. Have you ever noticed how a single compliment can change your entire mood? When someone tells you, you're doing an amazing job, suddenly you feel lighter, more motivated, more energized. Now imagine if you were the one giving yourself that compliment every day. Imagine waking up and hearing your own voice say, you got this, you're built for this, keep pushing. That's the power of self-talk. Most people don't even realize how negatively they speak to themselves. They brush it off like it's nothing. I'm so stupid, they say when they make a small mistake. I'll never be successful, they mutter when they face a setback. But words have weight. The more you repeat something, the more your brain believes it. Your thoughts influence your emotions influence your actions, and your actions determine your results. If you want to change your life, start by changing your words. Be intentional with how you speak to yourself. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I may not have figured it out yet, but I will. Instead of saying, I always fail, say, I'm learning and I'm getting better every day. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see yourself in a way that empowers you rather than limits you. You are listening to yourself all the time. Make sure what you're saying is pushing you forward, not holding you back. If you speak to yourself with belief, with power, with confidence, you will start living like the person you were meant to be. Change your words and you will change your world.
Even if you don't fully believe it yet, you must start speaking power into your life. Your words have the ability to lift you up or drag you down, and the choice is entirely yours. The way you speak to yourself determines the energy you carry, the confidence you project, and the actions you take. If you wait until you feel powerful to start speaking positively, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, you must declare it first, and the feeling will follow. Most people let their emotions dictate their words. When they feel tired, they say, I'm exhausted. When they feel stuck, they say, I don't know what to do. When they feel overwhelmed, they say, I can't handle this. But what if you flip that? What if instead of reinforcing weakness, you started reinforcing strength? The next time you're tired, say, I have the energy to push through. When you feel lost, say, I am figuring this out. When you feel overwhelmed, say, I can handle anything that comes my way. The moment you shift your language, you shift your mindset. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about training your mind to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. Your brain is constantly looking for evidence to support what you tell it. If you keep saying, I'm not good enough, your brain will search for proof. Memories of times you failed, moments where you doubted yourself, things others have said about you. But if you start saying, I am more than capable, your brain will begin looking for ways to make that true. It will recall your past wins, your moments of strength, and the skills you've developed. Think of this like planting seeds. Every word you speak is a seed going into the soil of your mind. If you plant doubt, fear, and insecurity, that's what will grow. But if you plant confidence, power, and determination, those qualities will take root. The more you speak them, the stronger they become. This is why successful people don't wait to feel confident before they take action. They tell themselves they are ready, and then they act. They repeat affirmations, visualize their success, and speak life into their goals. They don't let fear control the conversation in their minds. They take control of their words, and their words shape their reality. At first, it may feel unnatural. It might even feel silly. But the words you say to yourself today will become the beliefs you carry tomorrow. Your brain doesn't care if you truly believe something at first. It just responds to repetition. The more you speak something, the more it becomes part of your identity. So don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for proof. Speak power into your life now. Say, I am strong, I am disciplined, I am capable. Even if it feels uncomfortable, say it anyway. Because if you say it long enough, one day you won't have to convince yourself, you'll just know it's true. Your mind takes orders from your mouth. Whatever you repeatedly tell yourself, your brain accepts as truth and starts shaping your actions to match it. Most people don't realize that their words are not just expressions of how they feel. They are programming their subconscious. When you speak, you give instructions to your mind, and your mind follows those instructions whether they empower you or limit you. Think about it like this. Your brain is like a highly advanced computer, and your words are the code. If you program it with doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what it will run on. If you say, I'm terrible at this, your mind registers that command and responds accordingly. You start feeling more hesitant, you make more mistakes, and you reinforce the belief that you aren't capable. But if you say, I am learning and improving, your brain takes that as its new directive. It starts looking for ways to help you grow, and suddenly you notice progress where you once saw failure. This isn't magic, it's psychology. Your words influence your emotions, and your emotions drive your behavior. When you say, I'm not good enough, you feel unmotivated, you hesitate to take risks, and you shrink yourself. But when you say, I am more than enough, you feel a surge of confidence, and you start moving with purpose. You speak, your brain listens, and your body responds. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers use affirmations before stepping into high-pressure situations. Before a big game, a player doesn't say, I hope I don't mess up. No, they say, I am ready, I am strong, I will dominate. Before a presentation, a speaker doesn't say, I'm terrible at public speaking. They say, I speak with confidence, I am prepared, I will deliver. They don't wait for confidence to come to them, they command it with their words. It works the same way in everyday life. If you keep telling yourself, I'm always broke, your mind will accept that as your financial reality and make decisions that reinforce it. But if you start saying, I am building wealth, your brain will begin looking for ways to make that statement true. New opportunities, smarter spending habits, and a different relationship with money. The shift starts with awareness. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself throughout the day. Are you constantly reinforcing struggle, doubt, and failure, or are you giving your mind instructions that push you toward growth and success? Every time you catch yourself saying something negative, stop and correct it. Replace it with a statement that moves you forward. Your mind is listening to you at all times. If you tell it you're weak, it will make sure you feel weak. But if you tell it you're powerful, it will start finding ways to prove you right. Speak like the person you want to become, and watch how your actions, habits, and life begin to align with those words. Most people don't realize that the biggest battles they face aren't happening in the real world. They're happening in their minds. Before they even take a step toward their goals, they've already convinced themselves that they'll fail. Before they even try something new, they've already created a mental picture of struggle and defeat. And because they've lost the battle in their mind, they never stand a chance in reality. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions determine your results. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I always mess up, then you're programming yourself to prove those statements true. You hesitate, you second guess yourself. You don't give your full effort because deep down, you don't believe it will matter. And when things don't work out, you think, see, I knew it, not realizing that your own mindset set you up for failure before you even began. But the same is true in the opposite direction. When you tell yourself, I am capable, I can figure this out, and I am built for this, your mind starts to find ways to make that a reality. You stand taller, you move with confidence, you take action, even when things feel uncertain, because you trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. And because you take action with conviction, you start seeing better results. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't isn't just talent or luck, it's how they talk to themselves when no one else is listening. The ones who win believe in themselves before they have proof, They don't let doubt take control. They speak power into their own mind so that when challenges come, they are already mentally prepared to push through. This is why it's so important to stop negative self-talk the moment it starts. Catch yourself when you say things like, I always fail, I'll never be successful, or I'm not smart enough. Those aren't just harmless thoughts. They are instructions to your brain, and if you keep repeating them, they will become your reality. Instead, replace them with words that build you up. Say, I am improving every day. Say, I am learning and I will succeed. Say, I have what it takes. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say it anyway, because the more you repeat it, the more your mind will start to accept it as truth. Winning in life isn't about never facing obstacles. It's about deciding in advance that no matter what happens, you will keep going. It's about training your mind to see solutions instead of problems. It's about making sure that when challenges come, you don't crumble under self-doubt, you rise with confidence. The battle starts in your mind, and the way you speak to yourself determines whether you win or lose. Make sure your words are pushing you toward victory, not setting you up for defeat. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. The first words you say to yourself in the morning act as instructions for your mind, shaping your focus, energy, and attitude. If you wake up and immediately complain about being tired, about the work you have to do, about how hard life is, then you've already put yourself in a negative state. But if you wake up and declare confidence, strength, and purpose over your day, you take control before the world has a chance to. Too many people roll out of bed and go straight into autopilot. They check their phones, scroll through bad news, and fill their minds with distractions. Without realizing it, they're already giving their power away. They let external things dictate their mood instead of commanding their own mindset. But the people who accomplish great things don't leave their mental state up to chance. They start the day with clear, powerful affirmations that reinforce who they are and what they're here to do. Imagine waking up and saying, today I walk with confidence. Today I step into every room like I belong. Today I give my best, and my best is enough. That kind of declaration immediately shifts your mindset. You're not waiting for the day to decide how you feel. You're deciding how you will approach the day. And when you do that consistently, it changes the way you move through life. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about programming your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, to see opportunities instead of obstacles, and to act with purpose instead of hesitation. When you start your day with words of power, your brain searches for ways to align with those words. You begin to notice things you wouldn't have before, possibilities, ideas, and chances to grow. You approach challenges differently because your mindset is already prepared for success. Some people might think this sounds too simple to work, but the truth is, most people's lives reflect the way they talk to themselves. If you constantly tell yourself, I never get a break, you will overlook every small win and reinforce the idea that life is against you. But if you say, I am creating new opportunities every day, your mind will start finding ways to make that statement true. Starting your day with intention is a discipline. It takes effort to replace old thought patterns with new ones. But every time you do it, you strengthen your mindset. You create a foundation of confidence that carries you through tough moments. You take control of your narrative instead of letting fear or doubt write the script for you. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you let stress take over, stop and speak power into your day. Say something that moves you forward. Say something that reminds you who you are. Say something that puts you in the mindset to win, because the way you start your day determines how you finish it. When you change the way you speak to yourself, everything around you begins to shift. Your energy, your confidence, and even the way people respond to you start to transform. It's not because the world suddenly becomes easier, it's because you are showing up differently. The words you speak shape your mindset, and your mindset determines how you carry yourself. When you replace self-doubt with self-belief, you stop moving like someone who is unsure and start moving like someone who knows they belong. Think about a time when you felt confident. Maybe you walked into a room and knew you had something valuable to offer. You stood taller, spoke clear, and carried yourself with certainty. Now think about a time when you doubted yourself. Your energy was different, your voice was weaker, and you hesitated. The only difference between those two versions of you was the way you were thinking. And what shapes your thinking? The words you speak to yourself every day. When you begin telling yourself, I am strong, I am capable, I am built for success, you start embodying those words. You walk into situations expecting to win instead of fearing failure. You take opportunities that you would have once shied away from. You stop seeking validation from others because you have already given yourself permission to succeed. This shift in energy is something people can feel. It's the difference between someone who commands respect and someone who blends into the background. It's not just about confidence, it's about the choices you make. When you speak positively about yourself, your actions follow. You push yourself harder. You refuse to settle for less. You stop making excuses because you know you are capable of more. And when you start operating at this higher level, the world around you begins to adjust. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly become possible because you are moving like someone who belongs in those spaces. People start treating you differently, not because they have changed, but because you have. They see the way you carry yourself, the way you speak with certainty, and the way you pursue your goals without hesitation. Confidence attracts attention. Self-belief makes others believe in you. But it all starts with the words you speak. If you tell yourself you are not good enough, your energy will reflect that. If you tell yourself you are worthy, your presence will reflect that. It's that simple. The challenge is being intentional about it. Most people don't realize how much negativity they reinforce in their own minds every day. They think they are just stating facts when they say things like, I always mess up, or nothing ever works out for me. But those words shape their reality. If you want to change your life, change your words first. Speak the confidence you want to feel. Speak the success you want to create. Speak the strength you want to embody, and then watch how everything around you starts to shift in your favor. The way you talk to yourself determines how you handle adversity. Life will test you, challenges will come. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when things don't go as planned, and when the weight of your struggles feels unbearable. But in those moments, the voice in your head is what makes the difference between pushing forward and breaking down. If that voice is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, then every obstacle will seem like a dead end. But if that voice is filled with strength, resilience, and determination, then no setback will be enough to stop you. Most people think resilience is about never feeling discouraged, but that's not true. Even the strongest people feel doubt, exhaustion, and frustration. The difference is that they don't let those feelings dictate their actions. They control the conversation in their own minds. Instead of saying, I can't do this, they say, I will find a way. Instead of saying, this is too hard, they say, I have overcome challenges before and I'll do it again. Instead of saying, I'll never make it, they say every step forward is progress and I'm not stopping now. This kind of self-talk is not just motivational, it's essential. Your words influence your emotions and your emotions shape your response to difficulties. If you speak defeat into your life, you will move like someone who is defeated. If you speak strength into your life, you will move like someone who refuses to quit. You will start seeing obstacles as temporary, not permanent. You will stop seeing failure as proof that you should quit and start seeing it as a lesson that makes you stronger. Think about the most successful people in any field, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Do you think they never had setbacks? Do you think they never faced rejection, failure, or moments of doubt? Of course they did. The reason they kept going was because they spoke resilience into their own lives. They told themselves, this is not the end of my story, and they acted accordingly. You have to do the same. When life knocks you down, the first thing you must do is check your words. Are you making the situation worse by telling yourself it's hopeless? Or are you giving yourself the push you need by saying, I've come too far to stop now? The way you respond in those crucial moments determines everything. This is why it's important to practice speaking strength into your life before challenges come. If you wait until you're in a tough situation to change your mindset, it's already too late. You need to build that inner voice now. Every day, remind yourself, I am built for this. I am strong enough to handle whatever comes my way. Nothing can break me. When you train yourself to think like this, no situation, no failure, no rejection, no setback will have the power to stop you, because you will have already decided that quitting is not an option. Hey, the words you speak to yourself don't just shape your thoughts, they shape your future. Every time you say something, you are setting an expectation for your life. You are either moving closer to the person you want to become or reinforcing the limitations that hold you back. What you speak today will manifest in your actions tomorrow, and those actions will determine your results. That's why it's not enough to just think about success. You have to declare it. You have to speak it into existence before you see the evidence. Some people wait until they achieve something before they allow themselves to feel confident. They wait for external validation, for proof, for a sign that they are good enough. But that's backward thinking. Confidence doesn't come from achievement. Achievement comes from confidence. You have to believe in yourself before you win, not after. You have to talk to yourself like someone who is already successful, already powerful, already capable. Because when you do, you start acting in alignment with that belief. Think about it. If you constantly say, I'm not ready, then you'll never take the steps to prepare. If you say, I'll never be successful, you won't put in the effort to make success happen. But if you say, I am ready for the opportunities coming my way, you'll start preparing yourself to meet them. If you say, I am destined for success, you'll move through life with the kind of energy that attracts opportunities. Your words create your reality, whether you realize it or not. This is why you must be intentional about what you say. Every morning, speak power into your day. Say, I am strong, I am disciplined, I am focused. Before you take on a challenge, tell yourself, I am capable, I am ready, I will succeed. When setbacks happen, remind yourself, this is just part of the journey. I learn, I grow, I overcome. The more you say it, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you act on it. You might be thinking, what if I don't really believe what I'm saying? That doesn't matter. Your mind doesn't care whether something is true or not. It just responds to repetition. If you keep telling yourself something, your brain will start looking for ways to make it real. That's how habits are built. That's how mindsets are formed. What starts as a conscious effort eventually becomes automatic. This is why successful people don't wait for motivation, they create it. They don't wait to feel like winners, they talk to themselves like winners, and eventually they become exactly that. They use their words as fuel, as strategy, as a tool to design the future they want. You have that same power. The only question is, are you using it, or are you letting negative self-talk hold you back? Because whether you realize it or not, every word you speak is shaping your future. Make sure you're building the life you want, not the one you fear. Your words shape your reality. Speak power, confidence, and success into your life, and your actions will follow. Stop waiting for proof. Declare it now. Train your mind to believe in your strength, and nothing will stop you. Speak like a winner, think like a winner, and you will become one.